Welcome to Stitched Ink Studio, a space inspired by the stories that shaped us and the simple joy of creating by hand. Through sewing, storytelling, and a touch of nostalgia, this channel invites you to slow down and make something meaningful. I'm glad you're here today because we are diving into a beloved children's book that has been read to millions of children in cozy little corners all around the world. It is called The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. Now, before you click away thinking this is just a children's book review, I want you to stay with me because I truly believe that some of the most profound lessons we ever encounter in our lives were handed to us when we were small, wrapped up in bright illustrations and simple sentences. And we read them and we smiled and we moved on, not yet quite ready to understand what we had just been given. Today we're going to slow down. We're going to look at this tiny little book through adult eyes. And I think you might be surprised at what we find hiding between the pages. And of course, we're going to make something beautiful, inspired by it all. So let's start at the beginning. For those of you who somehow have not encountered this book, I'm so glad today is the day. Here is the story in summary. The Very Hungry Caterpillar tells the simple, charming story of a tiny caterpillar who hatches from an egg and begins eating everything in sight. Day by day, he munches through different foods, growing bigger and bigger, until one day he eats too much and gets a terrible stomachache. After recovering, the next day with a simple green leaf, he builds a cocoon around himself. 2 weeks later, he emerges, transformed into a beautiful butterfly, showing the wonder of growth and change. It's a great example of how a simple, short story can still teach us powerful and memorable lessons. I know that sounds like a big statement, but stay with me. The first lesson is that every great life starts small. The caterpillar starts as a tiny egg on a leaf, not even a caterpillar yet, just potential, just possibility, sitting quietly in the moonlight waiting for the right moment. And I think about how many times in our adult lives we dismiss ourselves because we are still in the egg stage of something. We haven't started the business yet. We haven't taken the first step. But the egg on the leaf is not insignificant. It is everything. It is the whole future of the butterfly sitting there quietly, waiting. You are allowed to be at the beginning. The beginning is not a lesser place to be. It is simply where every single remarkable thing starts. Number 2, hunger is not a character flaw. This caterpillar is hungry, relentlessly, enthusiastically, unapologetically hungry. And the book never once frames that as a problem. The hunger is the whole point. The hunger is what drives him forward. We adults are taught to manage our hunger, to be reasonable, to not want too much, to not take up too much space or ask for too much or dream too big. But what if your hunger, your deep desire for more knowledge, more growth, more creativity, connection, meaning, what if that hunger is not something to be ashamed of? What if it is actually the engine of your becoming? The caterpillar does not apologize for being hungry. He simply eats, and because of that hunger, he becomes something extraordinary. Number 3, you will overdo it sometimes, and that's okay. Saturday happens to all of us. The caterpillar goes too far. He eats everything. He feels terrible. And here's what the book does not do. It doesn't shame him or make him feel guilty. It does not dwell on the mistake. It simply says, on Sunday, he ate one green leaf and he felt much better. We're so hard on ourselves when we overdo it. When we overwork or overspend or overeat or overcommit, or we burn out completely. We treat it like evidence that something is fundamentally wrong with us. But maybe Saturday is just part of the process. Maybe overdoing it occasionally is how we learn where our edges are, how we learn what we actually need. The caterpillar needed the green leaf, but he might never have known that without the Saturday. Extend kindness to yourself and then move forward. Number 4, rest is not giving up. After all of that eating and growing, the caterpillar does something that I think is one of the most underrated parts of this entire book. He builds a cocoon around himself and he stays there for more than 2 weeks. He is not moving, he is not producing, he's not visible, he's not doing anything that the world can see or measure or applaud. And yet everything is happening inside that cocoon. We live in a world that is deeply suspicious of rest, that treats stillness as laziness, that asks, what have you been up to? As though being up to something is the only acceptable state of being. But the cocoon is where the transformation happens. The caterpillar does not become a butterfly despite the stillness. He becomes a butterfly because of it. If you were in a cocoon season right now, if you are resting, recovering, rebuilding, going quiet or inward, please know that this is not you falling behind. This is not you failing. This is you becoming. And what you are becoming is worth every quiet day inside that cocoon. Number 5, you will not always recognize yourself, and that is okay. The caterpillar who emerges from the cocoon is not a better caterpillar. He's not a faster one, or a stronger one, or a more successful one. He is something else entirely. Something he could not have imagined when he was eating his way through those apples and pears. Something beyond the limits of what a caterpillar can even conceive of. And I think that should give us all hope. Because we so often limit our vision of our future selves to just a slightly improved version of who we are right now. Maybe a little healthier, a little wealthier, a little more organized or productive. But what if the life waiting for you on the other side of your cocoon is not a slightly better version of your current life? What if it's something so different and so beautiful that your current self can't even picture it yet? Trust the process. Trust the cocoon. Trust that what you are becoming is beyond what you can currently imagine. And speaking of transformation, let me show you what I made inspired by this incredible little book. It is a book sleeve, and I wanted it to embody the book itself, bright and playful and full of life. So I used fabrics that reminded me of Eric Carle's illustrations. The thing I love about pairing a sewing project with a book is that you end up holding something in your hands that carries the energy of the story. I would like to gift this book sleeve to one subscriber. My hope is that every time it is used, they are reminded of the caterpillar, about being hungry and growing, resting and becoming. And I think that's a pretty wonderful thing to carry around with you. To enter the free giveaway, please be subscribed to my channel and leave a comment to let me know what goal are you hungry for that you are going to let yourself pursue. That's it. The official rules will be in the video description. I want to leave you all with this. Wherever you are right now, whether you're in the egg stage, or the hungry stage, or the stomachache stage, or deep inside your cocoon, you are exactly where you need to be. Every stage is part of the story. Every stage is necessary, and the butterfly is coming. Thank you so much for being here today. If this video meant something to you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it and would like to join this little community we are building. So until the next page turns, don't forget that books are where our wonder finds a world.